Yo, what's up, Lionel? Let me know if my audio and everything sounds all right. I'm about to switch over to the game. Gotta make sure everything's streaming right. All right, hold on. Let me see something. Audio sounds good. About to play some Demon Souls. All right. Let me see. Turn this game volume down before I flip over the screen. All right, hold on. All right. We playing some Saints Row the Third. We're gonna be talking about some games. Tales of Rise looking good. I haven't tried it yet. Oh, let me I might turn this where is it at? Turn this game volume up just a bit more. All right. But look, man, we're gonna be talking about some games. It's been a minute since I talked about any video games. I think I'm done with that. You know, other content I was making. I'm not even gonna really address that. Uh, just not something I care to speak on no more. But we're back on the game and conversation. Dang, this game is bright as heck. But look, new Saints Row coming out next year. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people were tripping about it. I, I did a video on it. We're gonna go over that. We're gonna be talking about, upcoming releases. And we're gonna be talking about these stories and games. You never went live with it. You was making videos in the black community, right? You never went live with. No, I never made no live stream about it. The thing is, like that type of content, I don't make like when I talk about games. I come on here and we gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about games, whatever we talk about. We gonna just say and do whatever. I give y'all my opinion on games. It's fun, and we get off. When I talk about like serious topics, I'm not I'm not trying to entertain people. But basically, the reality is people want to be entertained on YouTube. So I'm not going to talk about stuff that I'm serious about. Uh, in an entertaining fashion. So because I know that's what people want, I'm just gonna leave it alone. So basically, if I'm making content to help people or to give good advice, but people really just want to have a good old time, well, I'll do that, but not with serious topics. We'll just talk about games. But look, I made a video talk about that new Saints Row. You're not supposed to. The info was real good. Yeah, I mean the info might have been good, but when I look back at the comments and the content, the people don't like for every person. Let's just say this: for the little amount of people that might listen to that and go do something with it, I could just talk to people in private about. If you want to know what I think about something, I don't mind talking about it, but making like dedicated videos, like the video I did on Saints Row, that was very easy to do. It took me little to no time to record that. Cause you gotta remember when I'm talking about games, I'm gonna give y'all my honest opinion about stuff, but I'm talking about video games. It's not that serious. So I don't have to be cautious about how I speak, or I don't have to worry about how I word things because I'm not talking about anything serious. When I'm talking about like negative things that affect certain communities of people, I gotta be careful with how I speak because my goal is to help, not to offend. So I gotta be careful how I speak, but I gotta make sure I'm still delivering the message. It's a lot of work into that. I'm not finna put a lot of work into content. And remember, it's not about the views. It's about it's no point of putting work into content that people don't appreciate. If y'all want to hear my opinions on like a serious topic, whenever I go live streaming, the stream ain't gonna be about that topic. But if you just want to know, I'll briefly address it and move on. But making dedicated videos, I'm not doing that no more. Man, what the heck are they doing? Oh, they shooting rockets. Things just blowing up left and right. I'm wondering what the heck is going on. Yo, what's up? What's up, Sprite? I'm gonna look at the chat in a minute once I get these guys off my back. Did I even complete the mission? I think I did. Man, it's getting crazier. You feel like you're wasting your time doing those videos, bro? Just come raw with it, grim low. You know, on that part of YouTube too. Yo, why your girl got a BBL? Nah, that's just how all these characters on Saints Row look. Play Metal Gear, Metal Slug. I don't even know. I got Metal Slug 3 on PC. I think that's the only one I got. The game has no sound. Oh, hold on. The game has no sound. Let me see. That should fix that. Do y'all hear any sound now?
Steelport will be mine.
All right, but look. So yeah, when it comes to that other content, like I said, if I feel like talking about it in the stream, maybe, but I just really don't care to talk about it no more. Like one thing I learned, Lionel, is I've been in that community. Like I've been going over I've been going around to you know, different people in the quote unquote black community or whatever. Man, look, it's something that if you raised in the black community, you already know what's going on, man. They don't want to fix no problems, man. So to me, it's like no point in talking about nothing. If an individual person comes to me and they need some advice, I'll give it to them. But making content for the majority, no, it's a waste of your time. That's how I feel about it. That has nothing to do with view. It's just like I made a video, right? Matter of fact, I just had some woman come on my channel last night, and I'm making videos explaining why certain things happen in the black community. She didn't care. Most people don't care why they're happening. And this is a person that's quote unquote black. They don't care about fixing the issues. They just like complaining about the issues. I like fixing problems. I like giving solutions to problems. But if the majority of people, and yeah, I'm just being honest, the majority, they don't care to fix no problem. The problems in the community are so mundane to be fixed. It don't really take much to fix them. But the reality is, and everybody's going to learn this at their own time, and I learned it, they don't care to fix nothing. So what's the point of talking to them about any of that? An individual person raised in that community may want to fix their own individual problems, but the majority do not. So making content trying to help is a waste of time. They're not going to care until it's too late. I don't care when they care. Look, I don't even give a damn no more. You already know that's a big community, big community on YouTube. Your boy Andrew be over there too. Andrew, I don't remember Andrew, or maybe I do, and I just not putting the name to my head. Metal Gear 1000 on PS4 comes with 1 through 6. I'm not on my PS4 right now. I haven't played my PS4 in almost half a year. I mainly play on my Xbox and Switch and my PC every now and again, because most of the time when I'm on this PC, I'm working, so I don't really be gaming on the PC like that. I say one step is getting back to making healthy families. Man, Lionel, like I said, man, that stuff is for the birds. They don't care. I don't care. I'm over it. Look, that stuff is just, they just like talking. They like talking. They got deep internal issues, and I sympathize with them and all. But like at a certain point, you just realize it's like I'm talking to people. This is the best way I can explain it. Imagine talking to a group of people that's saying, I need help. Yeah, they say that, but they're not going to do anything to fix anything. And once you realize that, you realize you're wasting your time. And while you waste your, and if you're a person like myself, like I enjoy helping people, I'll go help people that want help. I'm not finna sit around and be bothered with people just talking crap. So, have you noticed that those that virtue sit on social media want to fix the world, but they can't fix themselves? Yeah, I noticed that. But look, man, let's get into this. We can come back to that. Let's get into this game and stuff, man. Saints Row, new one coming out. Everyone's dogging it. And I made a video about it. And the funny thing is, man, is that people are, you know, I used to talk about this. Y'all know me. I used to talk about like the political stuff in games and all that. But I used to always say like some people just be seeing stuff that's not there. And this new Saints Row, they talking about, oh, it's a bunch of SJWs, you playing as millennials. I mean, this is the thing that people gotta understand. Everything changes with time. Well, not everything, but most things change with time. I don't know who thought. First of all, I played all the Saints Rows. The only one I haven't beaten yet was the first one. And that's because the first one is hard as heck, and when I say hard, I don't mean like Dark Souls hard. I mean like unfair and hard. So it just annoying to play. But but I'm almost done with Saints Row 1. I gotta give you guys a little history lesson on Saints Row, because you got all these people running around here. I'm surprised all these people running around here acting like they're these big Saints Row fans. I don't know where these people came from, what hole they came out of, because Saints Row, it was never a big franchise, because the biggest Saints Row was the third one, which is the one I'm playing now. It was the most successful one. Saints Row was the main GTA clone. There have been plenty of GTA clones before Saints Row, but Saints Row was the one that stuck out. Everyone act like, oh, it's not a GTA clone. Yes, the heck it is. I mean, I don't know what else. Down to the fact, like, they took so much inspiration from San Andreas with the gang stuff, that the original gang colors were green, like from San Andreas.
Out of the way.
Everyone's up here running around talking about Saints Row got stupid and dumb since the third game, which is this one. No, it hasn't. Saints Row has been dumb since I let the first game. The first game is the least silly Saints Row. After that, Saints Row 2 and up, it's always been kind of stupid. Like this weird memory that people have is very funny to me. Saints Row, the reason why so many people, this is to let you know people are either they are not paying attention to the games they play, they just play them and they remember what they want to remember, or I believe some of these people just did not play these games. Because this is why I'm talking. We're gonna eventually get into like this conversation about stories and games. everyone wants to talk about how the new Saints Row looks like garbage because of the story. Or they saying like the characters look like Fortnite characters. Now look, I could be crazy. Look at this game right here that you see. This game is Saints Row the 3rd. It's the remastered version, but it looks pretty much the same as I did when it came out. It just looked a little shinier. This game came out way before Fortnite was even a thought. I don't know how does Saints Row the 3rd's art style and the new Saints Row's art style look the same? So when people are trying to say it looks like Fortnite, it's like, well, no, it don't. What do you mean? Because they look like cartoony people? That's not exclusive to Fortnite. There were games before Fortnite that had that look, and Saints Row had that look. It's very weird how people are doing that. It's clear that Sega only keeps Sonic alive for profits. Colors, Ultimate is a hot mess. I heard people say it was a hot mess, but I haven't looked into it. I heard something on Twitter where people were saying the Switch version being garbage. They're saying that it's actually not the Switch version is garbage. People are trying to run Sonic Colors on a Switch emulator, and that's why it's so buggy. I don't know which is true. I haven't looked that deep into it. But if it is true that the bugs, the major bugs that people are saying they getting on Switch is actually because they run it off an emulator and not the actual Switch, well, that's just funny. It says, to be fair, GTA is silly because it's a parody of real world day-to-day society. Well, GTA, I can't say that. GTA, if we going from GTA 3 all the way up to 5, GTA has always been drenched in some form of reality. When I say Saints Row is silly or is stupid, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. If you play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, CJ was a gang member who, you know, he was a criminal. So of course, like him being able to, him shooting people, killing people, you know, doing certain things, it seems plausible. You get what I'm saying? But then if you play through San Andreas, there's a part where CJ starts doing government missions and he starts doing James Bond type stuff. Now, for most people, they say, well, how does a gang member go from doing gang banging to doing government missions? Well, the game at least explained something. Carl got he got entangled with a government spy, and the spy was basically going to like have him killed or arrested, but he said, you know what, instead what I'll do is I'll train you to do certain missions that the government spy can't do the missions or he'll get caught. So he basically said, well, Carl, if you do the missions for me, I'll train you, then I'll keep you out of getting in trouble with the law, and on top of that, I'll help your brother get out of prison, right? But the point is that they showed CJ learn to do these things. So yeah, it's still ridiculous that a gang banger goes from being a gang banger. That's highly unlikely. A gang banger goes from that to being a government spy. But the fact that they showed you them learning it makes you believe it. It's more realistic. You get what I'm trying to say? Saints Row, you just a dude off the street that becomes a gang member. That's the first game. And pretty much everything you do is within reason. Then when you get to Saints Row 2, man, your character's doing all this crazy James Bond equalizer type stuff, and it's no context for how they got like that. They just basically, when Saints Row 2 came out, they said, let's make a power trip. Your character is just the ish. They're the best thing since sliced bread. We're not going to tell you why. They didn't get no formal training, nothing. They just a dude off the street. They're just good at everything. And that's fun to play. It's stupid, dumb fun. Does it make any sense? No, it don't make any sense if you think about it. But it's fun. It doesn't make any sense how the main character from Saints Row can fly military jets and take out a whole government agency pretty much alone. No, it doesn't make any sense how the main character on Saints Row 2 was able to getting a sword fight with a trained swordsman, and this dude never picked up a sword in his life, but he was able to fight just as well as the swordsman. It doesn't matter because it was a Kill Bill reference. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about. It's a silly game. It's always been silly. So when they're talking about how hold on, let me get out this car, because that noise is that's an annoying noise. When people are talking about the new game seems stupid based upon the story, I'm like, well, which Saints Row other than the first one wasn't stupid? Y'all love Saints Row 2. That's the one everybody say they love. That one was stupid. Saints Row the third was stupid. See, if you played all the Saints Rows like I did, when they went from 2 to 3, it made perfect sense. When they went from 3 to 4, it made, see, I know a lot of people that say Saints Row 4 is stupid. You got superpowers and you're the president. They've been gradually getting dumber and dumber with every game. It's kind of like the point of the whole franchise. They were going into that direction of being so ridiculous it imploded on itself. And look, guess what? People don't want to admit it. Look, this is my personal opinion. I'm gonna get killed for this, but this is my opinion. It's not a fact. I put Saints Row 4 over GTA 5. Saints Row 4 was a better game than GTA 5. When I was playing GTA 5, it was the first time I said to myself, oh, look, Rockstar is actually trying to be like someone else. Rockstar is trying to be like Saints Row. Because GTA 5 is the silliest and dumbest GTA game there ever was. That is the only one I will say, Sprite, is a parody. GTA 5 is like the Adult Swim version of GTA games. I know a lot of people may say, no, how can you say that? Yeah, play them. Play all the other people like to paint this picture that GTA 4 was the first serious GTA. No, it was. It was the most serious, but it wasn't the first. They were all pretty serious. It was the most serious. It was the one most drenched in quote unquote reality. But it was not the dumbest one was 5. And to me, to me is just the worst. It's the worst GTA. Overall, it's the worst GTA. Got a good online. It's fun to play online with people, but overall, it's the worst GTA. Now that's just my opinion. But when it comes to this Saints Row stuff, and I'm hearing all these people get all hyped up and angry. Oh, they ruined the Saints Row. It's like, I can tell. This is why I used to tell people back in the day. I don't know if Lionel's still in here. I used to tell people this. I don't have to look at your gamer score. I don't have to look at your gamer tag. I don't have to look at your trophy list. I can talk to you and tell if you played a game or not. I can talk to you to tell if you played a game in the era it came out in too. I can figure all that out just by having a conversation with somebody. Because all these people talking about, oh, go look at the original Saints Row. They were gangsters. Bro, we not in the 90s and early 2000s no more. No one, look, a gangster today is not wearing baggy XXX t-shirts. That's how they were dressed in the original Saints Row. Makes sense because in that time, that's what everybody was wearing. That is what gangsters were wearing. They're not wearing, gangsters wear skinny jeans and they carry purses today. And they will kill you and shoot you. Like, if you talking about street gangsters, I'm not talking about no organized crime people. They wear freaking suits. I'm talking about the dudes on the streets. They wear tight jeans, bright clothes. You know what I'm saying? They look metrosexual. So when they say, oh, these millennials don't look like gangsters, it's like, that's what gangsters look like today. I don't know why y'all still stuck in the 90s and early 2000s thinking, oh, it's still that time period. Now, my boy Keys and I was talking about this, and he was bringing that to my attention. I was saying, you know, yeah, Keys. Now, this is the only thing I disagree with him on. Gangsters aren't wearing baggy clothes today. He's absolutely right. We were talking about this, but that one dude that's dressed like Kevin Samuels, I'm sorry, I've never seen. I don't know about all that. The one dude dressed like Urkel, that just looks funny to me. But I'm not tripping over the characters and how they're dressed. That's like the most, but like that's the most, because I understand this is a silly franchise. That stuff does not matter to me. It just really don't. It's really irrelevant to the overall point. Oh, I'm about to die. Oh crap, I'm about to die. Alright, never mind. Yeah, the one dude looking like Kevin Samuels, looking like Urkel, he, you know, that's a little funny, but I get it, you know. I still get it. It doesn't matter. It's Saints Row. Saints Row is not doing... And then, look, they didn't show this stuff, but a lot of people got behind-the-scenes gameplay with the new Saints Row, right? And they were talking about the things you get to do in the new Saints Row. A lot of stuff is stuff you were always able to do. But one thing they said was, like, it's a big emphasis on... what do you want to call it? Like they have this system where you can, like in this game, you could go around and own businesses, but it's really simplistic. You just buy the business and you collect money from it. In the new Saints Row, you not only get to buy businesses, but it's like certain areas you can create your own business and choose what you sell in that business and then run missions for the business. Like, that's reminding me of like some GTA Vice City Stories type stuff. See, one thing that people loved about Saints Row, because I remember why people prefer Saints Row over GTA. It was never because Saints Row was just better than GTA. The first Saints Row, people loved that game because there was no other GTA-like game out at the time. Everybody was waiting for GTA 4. Saints Row came in and filled the gap, and it was an exclusive to Xbox, so, you know, that was also a bonus for Xbox people. Whatever. When GTA 4 dropped, nobody cared about no Saints Row. Now, when Saints Row 2 came out, I think the same year GTA 4. The only leverage Saints Row had over GTA 4 was this. When GTA 4 came out, I gotta give y'all the mindset of the people at the time. I was alive at the time. I don't remember how old I was, but if I wasn't a teenager, I was close to it. But I remember what people said about GTA 4. They loved GTA 4. They liked it. It was fun. All that stuff, that revisionist history about people not liking the physics, that came later. When that game first dropped, nobody said a bad word about GTA 4. It was very rare for someone to complain about GTA 4. Everybody loved that doggone game. But what happened was this. This was happening. People wasn't feeling that GTA 4 did not have a lot of the customization and extra stuff San Andreas introduced, because, you know, gamers don't understand that when companies are developing new games or another game in the franchise on a new engine, yeah, some extra bells and whistles may not transfer over. You know, they ain't got time to add in a bunch of clothes options. They don't got time to add in business, you know, stuff like that. RPG elements like Saints Row had. So GTA 4 was missing a lot of stuff people thought San Andreas would have. San Andreas had a bunch of stuff that GTA 4 did not have. So when you go look at Saints Row 2, it had pretty much all of it that Saints Row, I mean, that I'm getting the words mixed up. Saints Row 2 had a lot of stuff San Andreas had that people wish was in GTA 4. That's what I'm trying to say. So people preferred it because you could do things that they wish they could do in GTA 4. That was one of the reasons I liked it. GTA 4 had a few helicopters. Saints Row had a crap ton, just like Saints Row. I mean, San Andreas, I'm getting them all mixed up. You know what I'm trying to say. Saints Row had a lot of helicopters and vehicles. GTA 4 did not. And it's all in comparison to the last great GTA game, which was San Andreas. Nothing wrong with any of that. But the reality is, Saints Row 2, in my video I showed it, Saints Row 2 looks worse. And y'all know I'm not a graphics person. But Saints Row 2 looks worse than Saints Row 1. Saints Row 2 runs worse than Saints Row 1. Saints Row 2 yes, it was a more stuff to do, but Saints Row 2 got a lot of issues. Now everybody acting like Saints Row 2 was the second coming. See, I don't do that revisionist history stuff. I remember how things were at the time they came out and whatever. I'm not going off my personal opinion. I'm going off of the general consensus. The general consensus was Saints Row 2 was a good game, but it was not messing with GTA 4. And I remember when Saints Row the Third came out, this game came out. People were hyped, we were hyped. When that trailer dropped, playing that Power song by Kanye West, and they were in the hotel shooting people. People love Saints Row the Third. People want to act like they didn't. They love this game. It sold the best. People like the new engine or the new graphics that this game had. It was way better optimized than any other Saints Row game before it. It actually looked good compared to Saints Row 2 looks like hot, and it didn't look, let me be clear, Saints Row 2 doesn't look bad compared to today's standards. Saints Row 2 looked bad even then. It looked bad, period. And it played bad because the frame rate was horrible. When the frame rate was fine, you know, the game was fun, but the frame rate ran pretty bad. Like people try, oh, it only dipped on certain missions. No, that game dips all the time. I play it on backwards compatible on Xbox, where a lot of backwards compatible games, the frame rate gets fixed. That game still runs bad. The PC port is atrocious. Unless you mod it, if you just out the box, the PC port is atrocious. But everybody's running around here like Saints Row 2 was the greatest thing ever. I don't know what game they played. I don't remember. Like even this game, I remember the issues people had with this game. Like this game's issues were minor. The soundtrack in Saints Row the Third was not as good as Saints Row 2. People didn't like the fact that dual wielding was a permanent upgrade. So basically, like in Saints Row 2, you could dual wield pistols, but then you could choose not to dual wield them. In this game, once you turn on dual wielding, you can't turn it off. And some people didn't like that. Like this game's issues were minor. The major issue people had with Saints Row the Third was a lot of the missions was them introducing you to side missions, which a lot of people didn't like because it made them feel like, well, the other Saints Rows, the side missions were just on the corner. You just went up to them and did it. In this game, a lot of the quote unquote main missions is them showing you how to do a side mission that there's a bunch of them on the map. And a lot of people felt like they didn't get a lot of content because of that. Me, at the time, I felt the same way, but it wasn't a big deal because compared to the other Saints Row, this game got the best side missions. It ran the best. It looked the best. The story was the best. This to me was one of the best Saints Rows. And then Saints Row 4 came out and that game was amazing too. Like I said, I put Saints Row 4 over GTA 5. But I'm not here to talk your ear off about Saints Row all day. I'm just bringing this stuff up to say a lot of these people complain about Saints Row and flipping out. See, I look on YouTube and I get it. It's to entertain people. And I don't mind entertaining people. But I'm going to entertain people the way I know how to do it. And I like entertaining people without me having to lie or be phony or come on here and just start yelling and screaming like fake rage. I can't do that stuff. I mean, I could do it, but I'm not willing to do it. I could sit here and pretend to be angry about stuff that don't make me angry, and go all in on stupid stuff. But like, one thing you guys got to look out for though, or you don't have to, but just pay attention to this. There are people in the gaming community that really aren't gamers. They're what I call they really just want to talk about politics. They really just want to talk about politics and whatever else drama they got in their mind when it comes to the real world, right? And they'll use games. They'll use games as a way to talk about it because they're using Saints Row right now. Like there's people that if you hear them talk, they clearly never played a Saints Row game. I'm willing to believe they never played a video game before. But they run around here, oh, look at the customized character in the Saints Row trailer. She got the the side haircut, the haircut women be wearing where they got half their head either shaved or cut low than the other half. And let me just help y'all out with something real quick. I'm seeing people running around here saying like, oh, that's the feminist haircut. Guess what? When I walk outside, I see women with that haircut. Some of them are feminist, some of them are not. I remember when that haircut first was becoming popular, I didn't know it had anything to do with feminism. I thought it was like some punk rocker, emo. I'm pretty sure it is connected to that too. I remember when chicks had half their head shaved and the other half was long, and I didn't know it to have any connection to feminism. The point is, just because a character or a woman has that haircut don't mean that she's a it's just like if someone is if someone a quote unquote black with an afro, with an activist. Like it's just silly. Like there's nothing about that trailer that gave me feminism vibes. There's nothing about that trailer that gave me SJW. Nothing. I can't see it. It says I played True Crimes back then. Oh, True Crimes was all right. There's nothing about that Saints Row trailer. You are stretching. And look, if all you can give me is look at her haircut, so what about her haircut? You can change the haircut. I really don't comprehend this. Like right now, we getting to the point where people are saying if the main character in the game is a female, it must be some agenda. Y'all are losing your mind. Y'all are losing your mind. Listen, I get it. There are plenty of games that want to push the ideology of the people that's creating the game, whatever their political ideology is. Let me just tell you something though. I played pretty much all the games that you all complained about, and I used to complain about them too. Let me tell you what happened. I was not affected by any of the things they pushed. In the end, if what they was pushing ruined the game, then I just know not to buy their products no more. It's not really all that. It's not, y'all act like it's the end of the world. If you feel Saints Row or any company is doing stuff you don't like for me, example, I don't like the direction Naughty Dog's going in. I haven't liked it in a while. I said my piece. Guess what I'm not doing? I'm just not buying any Naughty Dog game that looks like the stuff I don't like. I'm not buying it. There's nothing to say. If it looks like something if it look like the same old stuff that I don't like from them, I'm not buying it. If it looks different, then I'll pay it some attention. Metroid Dread doesn't have an agenda, nor does any Tomb Raider or Bayonetta. Hold on now, Sprite. Hold on. People, look, when they did the Tomb Raider reboot, this is before all these political agendas and stuff were being, like, this is before the general public knew about this stuff, right? And I'm not saying with the Tomb Raider reboot, I will only play if pirated. What you talking about, the new Saints Row? You said Saints Woke? Look, man, this is what you could do. I never seen you around before. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Nizo. I'm gonna call you Nizo. Look, everybody has their own opinion. If you feel the new Saints Row is woke, I'm not gonna say you're wrong because that's how you feel about it. But just tell me what you saw in the trailer that made you feel it was woke. Because I can't. Look, Last of Us 2. Anyone want to say Last of Us 2 is pushing agenda? Well, of course it was. I mean, Neil Druckmann admitted it was. We all know that. But I just don't see it with Saints Row. If y'all can point it out for me, that'd be appreciated. But I don't see it. I just think people are blowing stuff out of proportion. Oh my God. I gotta level up my guns on here because clearly I'm not doing a whole lot of damage. And clearly they're doing a whole lot of damage to me. But what I was saying was, Sprite, was this. Look, Tomb Raider, people want to claim, oh, them not making Lara Croft have... I'm confused because Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raiders has big breasts, but they're saying she didn't have big breasts in the reboots, and when that game was first coming out, nobody said that was an agenda. because like I said, the general public didn't talk like that at the time. But then when the other ones came out and she still looked how she looked in the first reboot, they want to say it's an agenda because her breasts are not as big as the polygon model. And I'm like, not the polygon, but they're all polygons. You know, the PlayStation 1 model. And my brain, I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Laura Croft has big breasts. Like, she has big breasts now. So I don't get that one. But people did say it. Bayonetta. Yeah, Bayonetta. They never did it with Bayonetta. And what was the other game you mentioned? Metroid. Well, yeah, they're definitely not gonna say that about Metroid because honestly, I don't even think most people even know that Samus is a female. I don't even think they know the average person, even though it's been this many years. You gotta remember, most gamers are casual. They probably don't even know. They probably think the main character in Metroid is called Metroid. So, yeah, I'm sure no one did that with that. Oh, I'm getting shot. Hold on. FBS instead of Freckle. Oh, FBS instead of Freckle. Okay, hold on. Let me explain to the people what you're saying. In the first Saints Row, well, Saints Row 1, 2, I don't think Freckle. I'm not cursing just because YouTube's algorithm. That's all. But I have no problem saying the B word. It's just I'm not trying to mess up the algorithm. Freckle bees, let's just call it that. I don't even think that was in this game or the fourth game. So if you think about it, they removed Freckle bees out of Saints Row with the third game, and I don't. This is the thing. I don't remember not a soul saying where's Freckle bees. That sounds funny. It sounds like Applebee's. No one said where's Freckle bees in Saints Row the third. Now it's around here in this game, and I just been missing it. I done played this game multiple times now. No one cares. Now, rim jobs, I just passed that. That's here. But Freckle bees, they been took that out. Now it's coming back as FBS, right? Which I assume still, maybe it don't stand for Freckle bees anymore. Maybe it stands for something else. But that's what you're saying is woke about it. I'm not arguing with you because it's your opinion, but for me, that's not enough. That's to me, that's not enough. They changed the name of a restaurant and they changed the name of Rim Jobs to Jim Robs. And for those who don't understand, Rim Jobs is a sex joke. If you don't know what a rim job is, don't Google it, but Google it. In my brain, I'm like, if that's what y'all saying, is it? All right, I mean, that's how you feel. But to me, that's such a small, minute, unimportant factor. I never bought a Saints Row game because the restaurant was called Freckle Bees. I never bought a Saints Row game because the customization car dealership was called Rim Jobs. It was always just this kind of, honestly, see, Saints Row came out when I was maybe 12, 13, maybe even younger. I'm not sure. I don't remember when it came out. But the point is that I still enjoy stupid, inappropriate South Park-like humor. But I'm not going to say because they choose not to do that no more, it's SJW. You feel me? Like, I that's just me. I don't, whatever. But, you said they did that to not hurt the soy boys. Soft, flat humor. It's a whole with character look and humor. It's okay. Well, what's the character look? Break that down for me. How do the characters look? Because Saints Row 1 and 2, they all had the the traditional street clothes, you could say, right? For the most part. Then Saints Row the Third, they all look like supermodels, and they look like pop stars because they were pop stars at this point, pretty much. And then Saints Row the Third, they still look like pop stars, but they were like presidential. So the Saints look has been changing for years, and I don't remember too many people tripping. Listen, I know people didn't like Saints Row 4 because of the whole powers thing. They thought that was just too ridiculous. But I don't remember nobody running around here saying, oh, Saints Row the Third, they look like supermodels. I just don't remember. I don't remember no one saying, where's their baggy 1995 2000s clothing? Where are their big XXX tees? I just don't remember them saying that. I got a question. I gotta ask these questions because I'm wondering like what's going on with that. Why y'all in here? If you can't hit the like button, it helps the stream get pushed. I gotta ask people why they're so in a rage. Look, you ain't gotta like the game. You ain't gotta want it. I don't work for them. They don't work for me. But I just think it's a little silly. But to move on from Saints Row a bit, this still connects back to it, which is stories are negatively affecting games. This is my opinion. I'm gonna break it down for you guys. I've been saying this for a while. Look, I enjoy a story in a game just as much as the next guy. Well, maybe not just as much, but I enjoy stories in video games. Don't get me wrong. I will never say I mean, I play plenty of video games that don't have stories. I play plenty of video games where I ignore the story. But if you want to give me a story, I'm not gonna say no. My issue is when the story in a game messes up the entire game. My issue is when story gamers change the landscape of gaming. So let me explain what I mean by that, right? The story gamers, to me, y'all jacking gaming up. What's a story gamer? These are these people that I would say are casuals. Not everybody has to be a hardcore gamer or whatever, or not everybody got to play hardcore games. Not what I'm saying. And when I say you're casual, I mean like, I don't even mean in the sense that you casually play games. I mean people who truly have no desire to play video games. They don't really care to play games. They play video games because of stories. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen or heard of someone like playing a game like maybe The Last of Us, like a person who never plays games. But they'll go when the systems are cheap, or they'll go over somebody's house and they'll play a game because they heard the story was great. Now they can go on YouTube and watch the story, but for whatever reason they'll rather just play it. You know, and they'll play that game. Right? Nothing wrong with them. I don't have a problem with you doing that. The issue comes in is because so many people are like that in the industry now, and I'm talking about the creators, they're jacking up video games. See, to cater to a group of people that are fleeting is kind of dumb. The story gamers are going to come around every blue moon to play a game every, like, they're not here to stay. When you talk about people who are here to stay, these are the people who play games for, well, the main reason you play a game most of the time is because of the gameplay. And let me be clear, I enjoy games like Life is Strange. I enjoy games like the Telltale games, like, you know, those type of, I just call them modern day point and click games. I enjoy games where the whole point is the story. I like them. What's that game? Wolf Among Us, all that stuff. The Tales from the Borderlands. I have no problem with people making games like that. The difference is when you make a game like that, the focus is the story. So everyone kind of has this idea when you play a game like that, the whole point is to enjoy this story. It's probably gonna have choices you can make to alter the story, but essentially all you're doing is walking, talking, and picking up items and solving light puzzles. And the puzzles are so minute and light, you can't even really call it a puzzle game. It's really just a interactive story with maybe a puzzle every now and again. Right? But then you go over to, like, let's say a game like Last of Us Part 2. That's a good game to use for this example. Last of Us Part 2, forget if you like the story or not. That's not the point. Last of Us Part 2 is so entangled in its own plot that even if you like let's say you like Last of Us Part 2 and you like the gameplay, but you just want to play the game, you beat the game, you know the story, you have no desire to relive the story in this moment in time because you just played it and beat it. You just want to play the game. Go back and try to play Last of Us Part 2. I did.
Here we go.
I tried to go back and play the game after beating it to get the trophies. I was so annoyed because I have to go through all these slow walking and talking segments. I know the story already. I really didn't care for the story. I don't want to slow walk and talk with you no more. I gotta go through these long hallways of nothingness because they gotta tell me a story. I don't want to hear this story. The story was hot garbage to me. Or look, even if the story was good, I don't want to hear it right now. I just want to play the game. The story is getting in my way. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a game where I feel like the gameplay is solid enough. The activities are solid enough. It's fun. But guess what? They want to tell me a long-winded, a billion-hour story. So they stretch the game out to Kingdom Come. Put a bunch of filler in because they're worried about making sure the game is long as life itself. It ruins the experience. Yakuza Like a Dragon just came out, what, last year, I think? I was playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. Good game. They did it there too. Good game with a good flow. Most turn-based RPG games, there's a point where you gotta grind, right? And it happens throughout the experience, so you get used to it. Where like you'll do a chapter or wherever you want to call it, a section, and then like the next boss may be like 10 levels ahead of you. Not too much grinding, but you gotta grind to be able to fight the next enemy. Yakuza Like a Dragon didn't do that. The Yakuza Like a Dragon, pretty much after every chapter, you were a sufficient enough level to just beeline through the main story. I thought that was a brilliant idea because sometimes when you play a game with a good story, you want to go through the story. You don't want to sit around and have to do side objectives that you don't feel like doing to get to the next story event. See, this is the conflict when you introduce stories to games. A game is an interactive experience. But then you got this story. The conflict comes in is when, okay, we got to stop you from enjoying the story to play the game. Or we got to stop you from enjoying playing the game so you can get this story. Back in the day, people had a balance. They don't practice balance no more. So going back to Yakuza Like a Dragon, what they did with that game, and it killed my momentum. I don't even really feel like playing. I may beat that game one day, but it killed my momentum. I get like to the last couple of chapters. Remember, the whole game is a free-flowing experience. All of a sudden, I'm like level 40 or something like that. All of a sudden, I get to this part in the game. And they were funny about it too, because this is what they did. They said, "Hey, we are introducing a what you want to call it, an arena where you can go and grind in the arena, right?" They introduced this arena like near the end of the game. So in my brain, I'm like, oh, okay, this must be an arena where I can go in here and grind for late game content. Like, you know, like a lot of turn-based RPGs got special enemies and stuff you could fight. So I'm thinking this is a place where you can go and grind to handle that. No, they introduced this arena at this particular time because out of nowhere they decide that the next main story mission, the character's gonna be 20 plus levels higher than you are right now. See, they know the general area that you would be at this point in the story unless you purposely sat there and grind early on. So imagine you free flowing through this story. The story's picking up momentum. You're constantly unlocking new moves, so the combat's picking up momentum, and you're just having a good time. And then all of a sudden, they stop you in your tracks. Now you say, why would they do that? It's to prolong the story. It's not that the story gets any longer, it's so that they can arbitrarily say the game take 40, 50 plus hours. It wouldn't take that long if they didn't stop me from going through the story to grind. 20 plus levels. Now that may not sound like a lot unless you realize that Yakuza Like a Dragon, you level up slow. It doesn't matter that you level up slow because every major event, you're pretty much the correct level to do the next thing. So it don't matter that you level up slow. But now that you got to grind out of nowhere, it does matter. And the game ain't that good for all that. I can name countless games that are coming out that do that crazy crap. And to me, it ruins the experience. They bloat these games up for the story. They add filler to tell a story. And the stories in these games, if we just being honest, I know a lot of y'all are going to say, man, I love the story in this game. I love the story in that game. Yeah. A lot of people say stuff when they fresh off of an experience. When you fresh off of playing a game and you can remember it well, you can say that. Give it a few weeks, a few days. You can't recall half that stuff that was in that story. It's rarely a person that's going to put a story in a game up with a story from a movie or a book. Even gamers. The stories in games are cool, but that's as far as it goes. It's not that they can't be greater than that. It's the fact that you got to remember, they're making video games. So unless you're playing a game like Life is Strange or a Telltale game where the whole point is to tell a story, financially, they can't do both at a high level. It's not enough time or money to give you both. And any game you can ever think of where you could say, well, the story was amazing in this game, Grim, I can tell you right now, you can't remember half that stuff, or it was some convolute. Listen, don't hit me. Look, I love Metal Gear. I'm tired of people telling me, well, Metal Gear got great stories. Metal Gear stories don't make a lick of doggone sense. It doesn't matter that you like. I like Kojima. I get you. Let's be real. Them stories don't make sense. Just because there's bits and pieces in the stories where we could sit back and say, oh, that was touching, or oh, that was, you know, that's important. The overall thing don't make sense. And if you don't have to believe me when it comes to Kojima, go listen to interviews or go read articles with his original writing team. They all say the same thing. These stories don't make no sense. We did the best we could to piecemeal this bull crap he was talking. We don't know what this man was talking about. And they not saying that from a hating place. I'm not picking that. They saying that from a, it really don't make sense. Go back and play the Metal Gear games and really pay attention to the, don't let the cinematography, don't let the graphics fool you to get, you know, just pay attention to that story. Them stories don't make sense. I ain't gonna do no main missions. I'm just gonna do some side missions. No, you know what? I'll do one. I'm not against stories in games. But stories in games, look, I've been gaming before there were stories in games. I've been gaming where the story in a game was very simplistic. Save the princess. Save the world. Why are we saving the world? We ain't got to tell you why. Just go do it. That was all you needed. I'm not saying you can't give us great stories in games. I'm not saying you can't give us a good story in a game, but you got to have a balance. Like, I'll give you an example. Red Dead Redemption 2, to me, long story, no level gating, no trying to prolong the story, no annoying things in my way. If I want to just go through that game and do all the main story missions and beat that story and get it done, I can do it easily. That's how they used to make story games. That's that 6th gen era. That's how they used to do it. Now they doing all this stuff. They do this stuff on purpose. Ubisoft games, they do that. They're doing, I hope the new Far Cry doesn't do that. I really don't, because I like the Far Cry games. I'm looking forward to the new Far Cry. I hope they don't do nothing. I hope they don't do what they've been doing with Assassin's Creed, which is you liking the story, then all of a sudden it's like you can't progress. You can't. Now, I heard the new Saints Row, I'm not Saints Row, the new Far Cry is going to have RPG stuff in it. So I hope they don't do it, but who knows?
I face tougher challenges.
Oh yeah, by the way, I will be back streaming Little Nightmares. I was playing that, but a lot of stuff was happening and I kind of stopped playing it. And there will be more gaming videos because I like streaming and all, but I'd rather just drop videos this stream. See, this right here, this is one of the things I was telling y'all about. Like, this was one of the issues people did complain about Saints Row the Third, which is they didn't like that a lot of the main missions with them introducing side missions. But to me, I didn't like it either that much, but honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Are you ready for the last test?
You have a funny definition of training, Angel.
There's a car waiting for you. Head to it.
I've already played in traffic, remember?
This time, all I want you to do is drive around.
That's it? What's that going to teach me?
To master your fear.
Then this should be no problem.
I will do a video or a
Put a tiger in
stream.
my car.
I'll probably just do a video. Depends on how I feel. It might be a stream, but it will be some content. I am going to put out something on the new Sony event. I really have no opinions on it right now. To me, Sony, as of lately, has been
I'm sure they're not
I just don't care what Sony's doing. Like, I know a lot of people were tripping over the Horizon debacle. I think they went back on it. So if y'all don't know Horizon, the new Horizon game that's coming out next year, they announced there was going to be a free upgrade path. So if you bought it on PS4, there was going to be like a way you can get the PS5 version for free. But then they doubled back and said no, it costs $10. And I think now they went back and said no, it's going to be free again. Like, to me, I'm used to stuff Sony does, so to me that's nothing special. Sony says they're gonna do one thing and then they do the opposite. That happens all the time. It's not cool that they lied, but at the same time, it's like, hey, things are subject to change.
I'm sick of this.
Things are subject to change, and honestly, I don't care either way. I don't even know when I'm getting the new Horizon, because the last Horizon,
Escape, can I?
that's one of those what I call, that was a honeymoon game. I got that game for free.
If you leave me alone,
When I was playing it, I enjoyed it. I try to go back and play it, and it's cool. It's not a bad game, but it's like, sometimes people gotta recognize when you play certain games, depending upon the time period, depending upon what's going on in your life, depending upon how you got the listen, getting a game absolutely for free will change your perception of the game. I know some people don't want to admit that. Depending upon how much you pay for a game will change your perception of the game. If you went out and bought a game that everybody said was hot garbage, but you only paid $5 for it, you may not be as angry as someone that paid full price. You get me?
Kiss your bike goodbye.
If you go out and buy a game or get a game that most people would say is just kind of average, but you got it completely for free, and maybe at that time you was bored, you didn't have nothing to do, maybe your job's been kicking your butt, maybe your relationship is getting on your nerves or whatever, you just need a distraction, that mediocre game at that time might be a 10. So I think Horizon, what did I give Horizon when I gave it an 8? It's probably more like a 6.
Everyone wants to touch the celebrity.
It's probably more like a 6 or a 5. That happens sometimes. That's why I always tell people, go back and play the games if you like the game so much, it should be no problem. Go back and play the game again. But I think a lot of people today, they don't play games twice. Once they beat a game, they'll never come back to it. I'm not gonna be on here for too much longer because I gotta give me something to eat. Or I might come back on later and stream again. It just depends. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Angel, where are you?
I see you made it to the final test.
Answer my question.
At the gym, training.
Don't move.
I'll do this one last mission and I think I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna make me some type of pasta or something. I don't know what I'm gonna eat.
A fucking tiger?
If you're fighting the luchadors, you need to be ready for anything.
A fucking tiger?
Don't lose the message in the method. You mastered your fear.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You're ready to face Killbane, but the luchadors must still be dealt with. You know where to find me if you need more training.
Was this even a mission or was it just a cutscene? It might have just been a cutscene. Yeah, this game did that too. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate everybody stopping by. It's been a long time since I've been doing gaming content, but we are back at it talking about games. I am tired of talking about real world content, and I don't think I'm returning. I'm not returning to that no more. It's a waste of time. So we gonna bring back the game and stuff. I may have some videos out next week. My streaming, I'm gonna try to keep streaming because people like when I stream, but I prefer to just drop videos. So don't be surprised if you see more videos on my YouTube than me live streaming. But we shall see. Anyway, hope you guys have a good day. I'm gonna give me something to eat. Peace out. See you guys next time.